Excess moisture in the built environment can affect both fabric of a building as well as the comfort and well-being of occupants. The resulting problems can include poor air quality, condensation, dampness and mould.
My name's Steve Hodgson, I'm the Chief Executive of the Property Care Association. Indoor air quality is a massive problem. The main and most notable outcome from poor air internally is dampness, mould, condensation and all the things that are so common to us in buildings. The fact is that problems associated with indoor air quality, mould and condensation are increasing. The causes of these increases are quite varied and they relate to one another. Perhaps the biggest thing is the way that we occupy our buildings now. We're trying to make them more energy efficient, and one of the ways to do that is to reduce drafts. That reduces the amount of air movement and the way that the building works. We've also got more people living in fewer houses, and so the rates of occupation are increasing. The way that we use that space has also changed over the years. So we now shower twice a day and rather than bath twice a week. We cook and we occupy those spaces. We are living slightly more sedentary lifestyles, so we're told. So we don't tend to be out as much as we used to. And that all loads the air with moisture. You add that to the fact that fuel and the cost of heating our environment is that much more expensive. And it all changes the atmospheric conditions and the amount of moisture that there is in the atmospheres where we live.
The recent establishment of the UK Centre for Moisture in Buildings demonstrates how the issue of inappropriate moisture levels is gaining wider recognition. With a remit to increase the knowledge and understanding of the issues moisture can cause in buildings, the Centre is carrying out research, public engagement, policy work and training to improve moisture safety.
My name is Dimitrios Rovas. I'm a lecturer at the University College London at the Bartlett School of Environment, Energy and Resources, and a member of the UK Centre for Moisture in Buildings. Moisture problems affect both new and existing homes. Within the UK Centre for Moisture in Buildings, we are undertaking activities to understand and quantify the scale of the problem. Collected evidence together with changing contextual parameters like, for example, overclouding and climate change, strongly suggests that the problem is becoming more prevalent. It is important levels are managed because most of us spend a significant portion of our time indoors. Having good indoor environmental quality is very important for our health, productivity and well-being. When that balance is lost, there can be adverse consequences. Mold in buildings is one sign of an unsafe moisture environment. Mold can affect both human health, particularly the young, old and sick, as well as building durability, efficiency and aesthetics.
With a history spanning more than 85 years in managing damp in buildings, the PCA is well placed to support individuals and organisations looking to manage this growing problem. In response to this emerging issue, the PCA has also joined forces with the University College London Institute for Environmental Design and Engineering to form a knowledge transfer partnership, which will carry out a comprehensive study into the issue.
Our aim is to develop a new moisture assessment protocol, an innovative model tool for the improved prevention, management and remediation of moisture-related problems in buildings. The research involves providing a robust and accurate definition of what is acceptable and safe for a particular building in regards to moisture risk. The model diagnosis tool is needed because it will normalize the data being currently collected by PCA. This will provide insights into how to improve the business practices. This new knowledge will lead to a substantial improvement in the way moisture in buildings is understood in the UK, and the outcome of this KTP will change the way surveyors, constructors and social housing providers, as well as builders and developers inspect, monitor and remediate problems that have occurred as a result of atmospheric moisture.
The association has also established the Residential Ventilation Group, which builds on the existing knowledge and expertise of the association's members.
There are guidance notes around air management, British standards around that, and there are also approved documents on the requirements for ventilation and air management. But nearly all of that stuff is focused on new build properties. And even in new build, we know that it's not going completely correctly. With older buildings, what's tended to happen is that you've found a property that's got a condensation or a mould problem, and you've found that that's down to ventilation, and simply recommended an electrician fix a fan. Now, unfortunately, that electrician goes and buys a fan and fits it, with no real knowledge of whether that is correct for that installation or for that property or for that style of occupation. And actually the requirements are far more complicated than just let's go to the shop and buy a fan and fit it. We have to start thinking more precisely about what's needed and how ventilation should be installed in order to really cure the problem first time every time. The Property Care Association has focused a great deal of time and effort on ventilation and air management over the last few years. But the creation of the Residential Ventilation Group really means that we can focus on information gathering and the proliferation of good advice to both contractors and homeowners on how to really improve their air management and get rid of lots of the pernicious problems that they see with mould and condensation in their homes. We're working on a number of different projects, including a new code of practice for contractors working in older buildings where mould and condensation is a problem. But we've also worked very hard to create a training course that we call a masterclass on residential ventilation. This is going to be the first of a number of new training courses that will come on stream through 2017 to really put people in a position where they can understand what they're doing.